to see a world and a grain of sand and a heaven and a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. I care not whether a man is good or evil. All that I care is whether he is a wise man or a fool. Go, put off holiness and put on intellect. In the universe there are things that are known and things that are unknown, and in between there are doors. We are not meant to resolve all contradictions, but to live with them and rise above them. In your own bosom you bear your heaven and earth, and all you behold, though it appears without, it is within in your imagination, of which this world of mortality is but a shadow. Default text what is now proved was once only imagined. Love is weak when there is more doubt than there is trust. But love is most strong when you learn to trust even with all the doubts. If a thing loves, it is infinite. Make your own rules or be a slave to another man's. The person who does not believe in miracles surely makes it certain that he or she will never take part in one. As we are, so we see. If the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is, infinite. To some people a tree is something so incredibly beautiful that it brings tears to the eyes. To others it is just a green thing that stands in the way. The imagination is not a state, it is the human existence itself. There is no mistake so great as the mistake of not going on. The man who never alters his opinions is like standing water, and breeds reptiles of the mind. Enlightenment means taking full responsibility for your life. Some are born to sweet delight, some are born to endless night. Nothing can be more contemptible than to suppose public records to be true. He who kisses joy as it flies by will live in eternity's sunrise. I see through my eyes, not with them. When a sinister person means to be your enemy, they always start by trying to become your friend. Celebrate your existence. Why stand we here trembling around, calling on God for help, and not ourselves in whom God dwells? He who sees the infinite in all things sees God. Better to shun the bait than struggle in the snare. Gratitude in itself is heaven. You cannot have liberty in this world without what you call moral virtue, and you cannot have moral virtue without the slavery of that half of the human race who hate what you call moral virtue. Every man who is not an artist is a traitor to his own nature. The weak in courage is strong in cunning. To me this world is all one continued vision of fancy or imagination, and I feel flattered when I am told so. What is it sets Homer, Virgil, and Milton in so high a rank of art? Why is the Bible more entertaining and instructive than any other book? Is it not because they are addressed to the imaginer? Innocence dwells with wisdom, but never with ignorance. You become what you behold. He whose face gives no light shall never become a star. To generalize is to be an idiot. Joy and woe are woven fine, a clothing for the soul divine. Under every grief and pin runs a joy with silken twine. There is a smile of love, and there is a smile of deceit, and there is a smile of smiles in which these two smiles meet. Those who restrain their desires do so because theirs is weak enough to be restrained. They who forgive most shall be most forgiven. Exuberance is beauty. A truth that's told with bad intent beats all the lies you can invent. Do what you will, this life's a fiction, and is made up of contradiction. No bird soars too high if he soars with his own wings. The thankful receiver bears a plentiful harvest. Think in the morning, act in the noon, eat in the evening, sleep in the night. You've always had the power right there in your shoes. You just had to learn it for yourself. A good local pub has much in common with a church, except that a pub is warmer and there's more conversation. The tree which moves some to tears of joy is in the eyes of others only a green thing that stands in the way. Some see nature all ridicule and deform it, and some scarce see nature at all. But to the eyes of the man of imagination, nature is imagination itself. The busy bee has no time for sorrow. The strongest poison ever known came from Caesar's laurel crown. Without unceasing practice, nothing can be done. Practice is art. If you leave off, you are lost. He who desires but acts not breeds pestilence. I must create a system or be enslaved by another man's. The world of imagination is the world of eternity. It is the divine bosom into which we shall all go after the death of the vegetated, immortal body. This world of imagination is infinite and eternal, whereas the world of generation is finite and temporal. There exists in that eternal world when I tell the truth, it is not for the sake of convincing those who do not know it, but for the sake of defending those that do. Great things are done, and men and mountains meet. Poetry, painting, and music, the three powers in man of conversing with paradise, which the flood did not sweep away. The woman that does not love your frowns will never embrace your smiles. I must create a system or be enslaved by another man's. I will not reason and compare. My business is to create. I am in you and you in me, mutual and divine love. Thus men forgot that all deities reside in the human breast. Knowledge is life with wings. As a man is, so he sees. Mysteries are not to be solved. The eye goes blind when it only wants to see wire. If you cannot imagine with the mind's eye, much more than you can see with the mortal eye, you have a very poor imagination indeed. Abstinence sows sand all over ruddy limbs and flaming hair, but desire gratifies fruits of life and beauty there. Man was made for joy and woe, and when this we rightly know, through the world we safely go. A truth that's told with bad intent beats all the lies you can invent. Wisdom is sold in the desolate market where none come to buy, and in the withered fields where the farmer plows for bread in vain.